The debate over whether to use lightweight or heavyweight to build muscle faster is a topic of much discussion among fitness enthusiasts. Some believe that high reps and body weight calisthenics are best, while others swear by low-rep heavyweight training for faster muscle growth. To determine which style of training is best for you, we must look at the scientific data rather than just relying on opinions. In exercise science, training intensity refers to the percentage of your 1-rep max that you can train with. Each training intensity level, whether it's 70, 80, or 90%, correlates with a certain rep count. It's pretty obvious that if you train with less weight or a smaller percentage of your 1-rep max, you'll be able to do more reps. Conversely, if you train with heavier weights or a larger percentage of that 1-rep max, you'll only be able to do fewer reps. The high-rep crowd claims that light weights and high reps are better because they create a lot of metabolic stress, which is a psychological process that happens during resistance training as a response to low energy levels inside the cell that leads to metabolic accumulation. However, while this may feel more effective and result in a larger pump, it's not necessarily the ideal training style. There's nothing magical about doing lightweight, high-rep pump training, and it's not a bad strategy for muscle growth either. Many popular bodybuilders rely primarily on lightweight training. Several studies have found that you can build the same amount of muscle with low, moderate, and high reps. However, it's important to note that the weight load and rep range you choose may not be as simple in real life as these studies that are done in a controlled lab setting. There are 3 key considerations to keep in mind. First, performing only 1 or 2 reps per set, which is very low rep training, is unlikely to be the best approach for muscle growth. A study showed that doing 8 sets of 1-rep max lifts resulted in worse outcomes than 8 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Therefore, to optimize muscle growth, it's essential to select a weight that allows you to perform at least 3 reps per set. Second, training with very heavy loads and low reps can be more taxing on your joints and connective tissues compared to moderate or high rep ranges. Even though some studies have shown that low rep training yields similar muscle gains, they also report a much higher injury rate. Hence, if you have joint issues or are more susceptible to injuries, very low rep training may not be ideal. It's also difficult to maintain proper form during isolation exercises like bicep curls or lat raises with heavy weights. Compound exercises like the squat, bench press, and deadlift, however, can be performed with heavier weight loads and lower reps without issue, provided proper form is maintained and at least 3 reps are aimed for. High rep sets may not be effective in building muscle unless they're performed to failure. However, most people lack the stamina to complete 5 sets to failure with a very light weight, making it better to perform more sets in moderate and lower rep ranges. It's vital to consider the number of reps you can perform with a certain weight load, the mental focus required, and the potential for loss of form before hitting failure. While high-rep training should not be avoided entirely, it's important to consider the practicality and effectiveness of the approach. To optimize muscle growth, incorporating a variety of rep ranges into your workout routine is key. For isolation exercises like lateral raises or bicep curls, higher rep sets can be used without the concern of excessive fatigue. Research has shown that different rep ranges activate different muscle-building pathways in the body, with high-rep training primarily triggering the metabolic stress pathway, which can benefit muscle growth. Additionally, high-rep training is effective for training slow-twitch muscle fibers, which are more resilient to fatigue. On the other hand, low-rep heavyweight training creates high levels of mechanical tension, which stimulates muscle growth through the activation of specialized proteins known as mechanosensors. These sensors are only activated by very high levels of tension, which is why incorporating low-rep, heavyweight training into your workout routine is beneficial. This type of training is effective for training fast-twitch muscle fibers, which generate a lot of force but tire out quickly. Moreover, heavyweights not only build muscle but also increase physical strength, which in turn leads to increased muscle activation levels during exercise and ultimately benefits muscle growth. So, to get the most out of your workouts, it's important to include low, moderate, and high rep sets, as they activate different growth pathways in the body. However, for practical reasons, it's advisable to perform most sets at a moderate rep range. This is because it's less strenuous on your body and joints than performing many high rep sets or lifting very heavy weights for a small number of reps. To incorporate these different rep ranges into your routine for maximum results, periodization can be used. By switching up your rep ranges every workout, week, or month, you can adapt and grow stronger for the specific rep range you're working on. One simple way to do this is to spend around 3 to 4 weeks in each of the 3 rep ranges that have worked the best for you: 3 to 5 reps, 6 to 8 reps, and 12 or more reps. By cycling back and forth between these ranges, you can build more muscle and get stronger faster. When returning to a previous rep range that you haven't done for weeks or months, try to increase the weight you lift compared to last time. To avoid sticking to one rep range for too long, you can vary the rep ranges during each workout to suit your goals. For example, if you want to gain muscle rather than strength, you can do only 15% of your sets in the 3 to 5 rep range, 70% in the 6 to 12 range, and 15% in the 13 plus rep range. While this is just a general guideline, you could add 1 or 2 heavy sets and 1 or 2 light sets for every 7 moderate rep sets you do. This setup incorporates all rep ranges to maximize muscle stimulation, although it's not a magic formula. Alternatively, if you want to build strength as well as muscle, you could do 30% of your sets in the 3 to 5 rep range, 60% in that 6 to 12 range, and then only 10% in the 13 plus range. On the other hand, if you're older, more prone to injury, recovering from a previous injury, or just have achy joints, you can focus more on high rep work. This is because older adults have less connective tissue, which increases injury risk when training heavy. For these individuals, it's recommended to do no sets in the 3 to 5 rep range, then 60% in the 6 to 12 range, and the other 40% in the 13 plus range.